Alright, what is up everybody? So the godly reworks are finally here in Anime Last Stand with this quality of life update. It is being recorded pretty late, so I might be kinda tired, but we should be showcasing every godly that got buffed here, which is every godly in the game. And before we get into the actual showcases, here are the godly leads of everyone. So Dio's here, 30% duration to debuffing status effects. We have Sukuna. I'm not gonna read every single one, just you can read it if you want. And here are all the godly leads, which are completely brand new. Looks like all of them got their godly leads changed. I'm excited to see what the newest units have, because I feel like Luffy and Sunwoo were already pretty good, but it looks like they reworked everyone, even the ones that were already meta. So yeah, Sunwoo has a new passive there. Luffy's is the same, okay. Garou's is the same, and Garou's is different, and Goku's is different. So everyone has a new godly lead except for Luffy. And let's go check out the units in a showcase. Thank you to my clan members for making this possible. Here we go, we're going to start off in order. So first off we have Pride. Thank you to my clanmate Bama for letting me showcase this guy. So double S on everything, range and crit skill tree, and he costs 3,750 to play, so that is pretty cool. They actually did change the placement cost of the units. But Pride on placement, 23.6 mil damage over 4.58 seconds. He does have Glistening Glorious and max level. Here we have the Sunburn passive on placement, or Shaz effect. Afflicted enemies receive 175% of the unit's damage over 4 seconds and have their movement speed reduced by 17%. Pretty good damage from Sunburn there. He does also have two passives, his normal one, the 1, we've had that for a while, where he's going to increase his damage and range until wave 15. And then he has Sin of Pride now, which is brand new, so Pride pities the other fire units in his range, increasing their dot damage by 15%, damage by 10%, and range by 15%, so he is also going to buff fire units in his range. Pretty cool. If you're wondering why it looks weird, we do have the Christmas skin on this guy. But let's keep going here. Okay. Prideful Wrath, his next attack. Here we go, upgrade 3. 78.9 mil or 5.15 seconds, okay. 50.5 range. By the way, he was hybrid on placement, I believe, so that did not change. We have Solar Crash here, he's full AoE on upgrade 7. No new passives right now, but already doing crazy damage. 200 million every 6.87 seconds, okay. So they definitely did buff up the damage quite a bit. Let's keep going here, getting expensive, and he does now have an ability and the same two passives from earlier, okay. The 1 ultimate, increase damage by 50%, decrease SPA by 25%, increase range by 50%, increase dot damage by 40% for 60 seconds. During these 60 seconds, gain the Blaze effect, which is going to do 1.5 times his damage. After these 60 seconds end, this unit cannot attack for the next 120 seconds. It does only have a 2,000 second global cooldown, so you can use it multiple times, but I think the way it's set up is kind of like a last resort thing. You want to use it when you're about to lose. But let's get the ability effects on. Yep, they're on. Alright. You want to use it? Let's see Pride's ability here. Right now he's at 307 mil. There we go. 461 million damage every 5.15 seconds. 99.7 range. He is, of course, full AoE hybrid. Look at the damage from this guy. You can see he does have Blaze now and Sunburn. Really crazy buff, I'm not going to lie. I like what they've done so far with Pride. And again, they did change his placement cost, so he used to be, actually no, he's still 3.75. That might be normal, I think. Never mind. But yeah, there's Pride. Moving on to Sukuna, the True Curse King. Again, we're going in order of when they were released. So for this guy, thank you Aciid for letting me showcase this Sukuna. He does have the female skin on it, that's why it looks weird, and he does have triple S on every stat, damage SPA skill tree, and he costs 5,000 to place. Okay, he is hybrid and full AoE on placement, so that didn't change. He does have Dismantle, and he does have a special thing above his head, which we'll check out. The strongest, okay, the strongest sorcerer unsealed if he's in range. Increases that unit damage by 25% and range by 20%. This unit's SPA is decreased by 5%. Okay, so if you have Gojo in his range, he actually buffs Gojo. That's kind of weird. And then Divine Flames, every 100 seconds, unleash Divine Flames to all enemies in range, dealing 50 times this unit's current damage, and applying Sunburn off of that multiplier. That's actually kind of crazy. Wow. So instead of just like a nuke ability, he has kind of a constant nuke every 100. That's kind of crazy. Okay. Want to keep going here. You can see his damage. Falling Thunder, upgrade 3. I think he becomes a circle, yep. There we go, he does gain Plasma, okay. And same passives there. Keep going. Pretty good so far though, this is with Glistening Glorious, and again max level of course. Okay, Cleave Split, here we go. He is now a Cone AoE with Dismantled, alright. 129 mil or 4.74. Same passives. Let's keep going. 130 mil again, kind of expensive, but crazy damage already. Ultimate Cleave, alright. 215k, 250k for the next one. And finally 850k, but he does now have Power Vows, and same passives as before. So, okay, upon activation, Woe has a 50% chance to move on to the next chant. If it doesn't move on to the next chant, ability goes on 300-second cooldown, and set chance to 1. Set chant to 1. If it reaches the final value, the cooldown of the ability is set to 2000 seconds and set to chant 1. Chant 1, deal 25 billion damage to all enemies on map. Chant 2, deal 50 billion damage to all enemies on map. Chant 3, deal 100 billion damage, 10% from enemies on all map. Chant 4, deal 500 billion damage, inflict daze, steal 20% of HP, inflict weaken, permanently... What? Permanently and slow... Oh, shoot, weaken is permanent. Inflict weaken permanently, and slow enemies down by 50% for 35 seconds, all in range. Sorry for messing up that reading so much. I'm, kind of trying to speedrun this and tired, but anyways. So his ability has multiple forms here. If we were to use that, we can see different nukes happening. And then Malevolent Shrine, sacrifice 50% of this unit's damage and deal 500 billion damage over 10 ticks. Each tick reduces all units in range damage by 2%. Once ability ends, damage for units in this unit are recovered after 60 seconds. Okay. So he's going to sacrifice his damage, deal 500 bill over 10 ticks, and reduce everybody else's damage as well, but then it gets restored after 60 seconds. A lot to read about this guy. I've been kind of messing up, stuttering a bunch because he has so many words, but... Final damage is around, how much is that? 900 mil-ish? 900 mil? Almost 1 billion, including the dismantled. Pretty good. If you want to use, want to pop vows. Let's see power vows here. What animation is that going to play? Okay, so he's chant 1, it pops up above his head, and whenever you use the ability again, it has a chance to move on to the next one. Pretty cool. Now Shrine. So he should cut his own damage in half here. Yep, and whoa, look at that. It was there for a second, now it's gone. But yeah, his damage is much lower, and it did apparently 500 bill, which is quite a bit. In multiple takes too. Okay, well there is Sukuna. Moving on to Dio, or Ancient Vampire. I have triple S on the damage, double S on the range and SPA. I'm going to have him max level, glitched and glorious with the crit and range skill tree. So let me throw down my Dio here. He costs 850 to place, which is new. He used to cost like 2.5k, I think. On placement, he does have Accelerate, the effect. Decrease dot proc time by 10% for 10 seconds. 2.43 mil or 4.02 seconds, not too bad. 45% crit chance, that's probably from my trait. He does have the 2 passives here, Divine Aura. Every 10 attacks increase this unit's SPA by 25%, and all units within 50% of this unit's range have their SPA decreased by 5% for 60 seconds. Okay, so every 10 attacks, he's going to make himself attack slower, but also support the people near him, which is pretty good. Okay. And then Heavenly Vampire, units in Dio's range have their SPA, there's the passive kicking in, have their SPA decreased by 2% to 10%, depending on how close they are from the unit. Similarly, enemies in this unit's range receive increased 2 to 10% damage, 2 to 10% slow, depending on how close they are to the unit. I don't know why I said damage. But there we go. So enemies are going to be slowed down, and units in his range have their SPA decreased, depending on how close they are to him. Pretty good, actually. So he's kind of like a support now, especially with Accelerate. I don't know why I'm jumping, it's my unit's upgrade. Alright. See his damage here, Heavenly Barrage on upgrade 4. 48.7 mil, has the same passive, same status effect. He was hybrid in placement. Keep going, he gains Divine Flurry on upgrade 8. Nothing new. A high amount of damage. Reality Override, he is going to be still a circle AoE. He gains Road Roller, deal 5 times his unit's current damage, and time stops all enemies in range for 8 seconds with a 35-second cooldown. So, that's actually, like, really good. 8-second time stop, really low cooldown, and 5 times his damage. Pretty cool. No animation for it, though. Pillar of Heaven, final upgrade. Anything special here? Nope. Alright. Pillar of Heaven, there we go. He does not gain any new passives. He does get a new ability called Over Heaven Special. Time stop all enemies on the map for 60 seconds. Enemies killed during this time stop are brought back to life with 100% of their max HP, and it has a 1500 second global cooldown. So it is going to be kind of a replacement to his summon passive. Take a look back here. Enemies killed during it should respawn as summons. Doesn't look like it's working though. I don't think it's working. Kind of unfortunate, but pretty cool. The time stop does work. That is Dio, and he's doing pretty good amount of damage, and he's pretty cheap now, which is nice. Next up is Ichigo. Thank you, Bama, once again. We have double S, triple S, triple S, crit range kill tree, and 1k placement. So, Ichigo here. He is going to be glitch and mystical, so pretty good. And of course, max level. On placement, he has Getsuga Tensho, Getsugu Tensho. Every 5th attack, Ichigo has a 35% chance to follow up, dealing 50% more damage of the previous attack casted. Pretty good, actually. And then Quincy Bloodline. If Quincy King Awakened is in range, guaranteed follow-up attack, and every 15 attacks, Ichigo increases damage by 10% and inflicts bolt on next attack. So if you have Quincy King near him, he's actually going to buff Ichigo. Pretty cool, okay. And then final battle, if Aizen's in his range, buff own damage by 10% and range by 10%, buff Aizen damage by 20% and range by... Wow, okay. So he's going to buff Aizen and buff himself. He's also going to buff himself when he's in Quincy King's range. And then Getsuga Tensho, it's kind of like a follow-up chance every 5 attacks. Okay, pretty nice. Let's check out his damage here. So 4.24 on placement, let's keep going. Doesn't have anything like Black Flames. Crescent Moon Dash, upgrade 4. He is hybrid on placement, by the way. Okay, Silicone AoE, nothing special. Same passives. Let's keep going. He does have the Jetstream Sam skin on from the Halloween event, so don't really get to see the model, sadly, but it's fine. Damage there, 100k. 180k final Getsuga Tensho, alright. 494 mil. Every 7.62 seconds. No passive still. No status effect. Let's keep going though. Final upgrade. He gains True Kai release. Ichigo activates his True Kai, buffing his damage by 25%, reducing his SPA by 25% for 150 seconds. In addition, gains a temporary 15% chance to deal 2 times damage on attacks for the next 150 seconds with a 500 second global cooldown. Wait, no. Non-global cooldown. So you can use this on any Ichigo. Cool. Going to be a self buff. Want to pop ability? Let's see, so right now 689 every 7.62, now he's doing 861 every 5.72. Much more damage there. Pretty nice, and apparently a chance to deal double damage, which is also really good. And that is Ichigo. Cool. Moving on to Goku. Thank you, Doggo, for letting me showcase this guy. Triple S, double S, double S, crit range kill tree, 1500 placement, 1.5k. So, on placement, no status effect, 4.96 mil over 3.73 seconds, 45.9 range. He is hybrid. And he has, okay, new passives, the Protector of the Universe. When this unit or units in his range have a status effect applied to them, have Goku counterattack for 50% of his current attack damage with a 30-second cooldown. So he has like a countering thing for bosses that stun him. Pretty cool. Master of Adaptation. Every 50 takedowns, Goku has a 20% chance to adapt to the enemies. These adaptations include 20% damage, 50% crit chance, 20% more boss damage, and 20% range. Goku obtains these adaptations once, and it is in this order. Okay, so he increases his damage every 50 kills, and it might be permanent, I think. So very nice. Let's keep going here and check him out before he kicks in those passives if we can. Ultimate Spiritual Bomb, upgrade 4. He does not gain any status effects, no new passives either. Pretty good damage so far though. Again, max level of Glitch Glories, of course. Supreme Kamehameha. Nothing going on there. Circular AoE still. Okay, Hone Body on upgrade 10. All enemies on the map take 30% more damage until death. It has a 750 second cooldown, non-global, and I don't know why the ability text is kind of bugging out like that, but whatever. Alright, let's keep going. Let's see if he loses Hone Body, because we kind of know what that one does already. 483k, now 800k for final upgrade. He gains Final Energy Bomb, and his passives are the exact same. Upon activation, deal 20 billion damage times charge count. Cap of 400 bill. Wait, what? Times charge count. Buff units damage and range by 5% times charge count for 150 seconds, cap of 100%. Wanna pop final thing? What happens with the charge count? I don't understand that. Anything happen on his end? There's no... Oh, okay, it's a charge like Issei's. Do you have to spam click? QTE. Oh, quick time, yeah, click quick time event, okay, click quick time event. So it's kind of like Issei, you just want to spam click, and if you charge it enough, it has those caps. Okay, pretty cool. 573 mil or 5.73 seconds, almost exactly 100 mil DPS, so pretty cool. Next up is Wukong, or Jin Mori. This guy is 2k to place, I do have triple S on everything, Glitch and Glorious max level, and of course the current range kill tree. So 5.29 mil over 2.77 seconds, 59.3 range, and he has a circular AoE hybrid unit with cripple and a couple new passives. So the Monkey Stage, every 25 attacks by this unit, a perfect copy of the unit is summoned and helps the unit in battle, doing 12.5% of the unit's current damage as its damage, and applies plasma status effect to enemies. Maximum of 5 clones, so kind of like the clones from before he got reworked. Now they have plasma and do a little bit more damage. For every enemy killed this way, unit gains 2% range up to 15%, pretty cool. So if you kill people using his clones, he's going to also gain range himself, I think. The Monkey Sage Extreme. Every time an enemy afflicted by plasma, applied by Jin Mori's clones, are defeated, increases the clone's damage by 2%, up to 20%, and Mori's damage by 1%, up to 10%. and when the unit reaches a total cap of 10% damage, further increase the damage of all allied units in range by 5%. So, if you get kills with his clones, anything that has plasma, you're going to increase the damage of his clones and himself, and when maxed out, the damage of people in his range by 5%. Pretty good. Let's keep going here. Foil his foot, he becomes full AoE on upgrade 3. He does now gain bleed as well, with cripple. Pretty good damage so far. Ento Own, upgrade 8. He is now a giant circle AoE with the bolt passive. So plasma from his clones is going to help his own damage. And then here we have 171 mil every 5 seconds. With that bolt is actually pretty crazy damage. And the clones, of course, are doing pretty good damage, but we can't check that. 12.5% with plasma, so... Overall, I think it is an upgrade. He definitely got better than before. And very solid unit. Next up, we have Sunwoo Shadow King, or Sung Jinwoo. Thank you, Doggo, for showcasing this guy. We have triple S, and A+. The A+ is to keep his SPA optimized for his hemorrhage and mutilate. So he does have an optimized skill tree as well, which means it is a weird version of crit and range, but 2500 placement cost, and on placement he is hybrid. 3.88 mil every 3.55 seconds, hemorrhage effect on placement, and he does have 2 new passives here, 3 new passives here, 4 new passives, okay, hold on. Shadow Preservation, every 50 takedowns, Sunwoo increases his damage of all his shadows by 5%. Cap of 25%, so his shadows get stronger. Dragon Sphere every 100 seconds, Sunwoo has a 50% chance to roar, slowing all enemies in his range down by 30%, and enemies under 25% permanently take 50% more damage from Sunwoo and his shadows. Roar deals 5 times Sunwoo's current damage to all enemies in range. So he has like a full AoE nuke thing, we can see it above his head, the Dragon Sphere, and it is also going to slow down enemies in the range and make them take more damage if they're low enough, at least from his shadows and himself. Shadow Extraction, 50% chance to revive an enemy killed by Sunwoo with 150% of its max HP. So kind of like his, just his summoning thing from before, before his rework. Monarch's Presence, any unit that enters Sunwoo's range is permanently slowed by 10% and take 15% more damage from the shadows. Sunwoo and his shadows deal 1.5 times damage to bosses. So we just gained a couple passives up here, but let's keep going. 3.5k, 5k, 7k, and Shadow Commander on upgrade 4, that means he should get, yep, there's Icarus here, and he still has bleed, no passives. I think the shadows are probably going to be the same, but we'll find out. He does have burn, no passives, or flame affinity, that's always been a thing. Keep going on Sunwoo here. Monarch Dash on upgrade 8, he does gain mutilate here. And let's see the final damage. 350k, he does have the same ability, Shadow King's Domain. I think it was always the same, but it's just kind of his nuke thing that also buffs everything, so pretty good. Now he does have mutilate doing 444 mil and then 177 mil every 8.53 seconds, so optimized SPA there. Pretty good Sunwoo, very good damage. You want to max out the clones? Want to max the clones. So let's check out the units behind him. Shadow General is still cripple, and he buffs all shadows by 10% now, okay. Not sure if he always did. Ant King does have an ability now, and a passive. Every 10 attacks, self-buff damage by 50% for 30 seconds. Ant King's command, I don't know if he always had these, but pretty good damage for poison as well. And then Flame Mage, he has burn, he has flame affinity, pretty good damage. And I think that is everyone. Wait, maybe Icarus right here, bleed, 34.8 mil, and no passive. So that's the new reworked Sunwoo, pretty good. He just kind of gained a couple new passives, and a little bit of damage gaining from his passives from that, so pretty cool. Gear 5 Luffy, or Zufi Sun God. Thank you, Aciid. We have triple S on every stat, damage SPA skill tree, and 2500 placement. He is going to have triple on placement, he is hybrid, and Cartoon Logic and Liberating Drums. Okay, Cartoon Logic. Whenever this unit is going to be stunned, dodge the stun and have Luffy's next attack be a guaranteed crit with 700% extra crit damage. That's crazy. Okay. Liberating Drums, every 5 attacks inflict a Conquered effect, which stuns for 8 seconds instead of 5. So stronger version of Conquered, every 5 attacks. Pretty cool. Let's keep upgrading him here. Pretty cheap so far. Defeater's Aura, upgrade 5. He does become full AoE here with Conquered, and his passives do not change. Keep going here. Omanari, okay, upgrade 10. 200k. He does become a circle AoE, same as before, and same passives. No effect or anything. Exceed Imagination, that's just his damage and range buff. He's always had that. Oh! But for the next 120 seconds, Zufi gains the random sass effect, kind of like Remy. Wanna pop that? I'm not sure if we'll even see it in action on this boss here, maybe? Don't know, they might have too much health. But he should have random status effects now, so yeah, there it is. Random. Pretty cool. Now if you just want to max him out here, you'll see the final damage. 364 mil every 2.75, that is probably with Aciid Imagination popped. And he does have Ultimate Gun. Deal 150 billion damage to all enemies hit receive 50% increased crit damage for 100 seconds. They took away the percent-based execute thing for it. It was not as good as it was before, but it does have a damage increase now, so pretty good if you want to pop that as well. Want to pop that too? Let's see. Same animation, I think. There we have it, Luffy nuke, and pretty cool. Finally, we have the newest Godly, Cosmic Garou. So we're going to be using 2 Cosmic Garous for this one. We're going to start off with the Baldy form. So this guy's going to be triple S everything, crit range, skill tree, and 2,500 to place. So this is going to be with Glitch Trait, Glorious Enchant, and of course max level. Thank you to Doggo for letting me showcase this one. And by the way, Goku does have a new model. Ichigo doesn't for some reason. I thought he was supposed to, but there's Goku's new model. Pretty cool. Anyway, Cosmic Garou, on placement, no passive or anything. But if we upgrade him here, he does gain mode swap. Okay, so that's the same. We go into Baldy form here. And we have hold back. That is the same as before. He's going to increase his damage by doing less damage for his first few attacks, okay. Exponential growth as well. So same as before. He has his Baldy passive, Dimensional Barrage at upgrade 4. Circle AoE. Let's keep going here. Cosmic Beam, he does become a Cone AoE. Looks like they didn't really change anything with Garou, to be honest. It looks the same as before. Just, they gave him a new godly lead, I guess, which we saw in the beginning. And yeah, Serious Punch, he always had this, so... nothing crazy, honestly. This is the same quality mode as before. Nothing new. Now we're going to try out the Cosmic form for Cosmic Garou. So same one as before, triple S everything, crit range, 2500 placement, Glitch Glorious. Thank you, Doggo. Let's keep going here, get him to his Cosmic form real quick. So mode swap, you can go into Cosmic here. Looks the exact same. Perfect copy and Cosmic Dust Storm. Okay. Let's just keep going here though. Dimensional Barrage, does he gain anything else, maybe? Looks about the same as before. I don't think they messed with Garou. So far he's gaining nothing. Final upgrade, he gains, yep, his nuke, and that is the exact same. Kills the strongest enemy on the map, and steals up to 5 billion damage from their HP. So, they didn't actually rework Garou, they just kind of changed his Godly buff. That's the only thing they changed about Garou. Otherwise, he's the exact same. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. He might not even keep up with meta if they buff the Godlies too much. I mean, his damage is high, but who knows. Overall, I would say this is a huge W for the balancing of the game. All the old Godlies are now viable, and we can use all sorts of funny teams we want to try out. Hopefully this showcase helped you guys. I know it's a very long video. I'm sorry if I sound tired. It's because this update dropped pretty late, and I've been trying to speedrun this Godly video to get it out for you guys. But anyways, yeah, I think all of them are pretty good. Garou sadly didn't get changed besides his Godly lead. But hey, maybe it's all he needed. Maybe he's really good now. Who knows? Anyways, thank you to my clanmates again. Doggo, Aciid, and Bama. Couldn't have made this video without them. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one. And have a great day.